My name is Raman. I'm located in Los Angeles. I'm a product manager and investor, and I've got 4 deals with Ashcroft. It was highly recommended as a way to diversify. Previous to that, I've been mostly in stocks, and that can be very up and down, especially in the short run. And given that we were in a bit of a recession, because of the pandemic, and seeing how real estate and multifamily in particular was able to weather that, in a different way than other types of investments. There's a lot of confidence there to be able to put money in that and know that you're backed by real estate, so it's there's always something to fall back on, even if prices are going down or markets are being hit. The physical real estate's always there, and housing is always going to be necessary, and it's always going to be more necessary. So those factors combined, plus past performance, it just seemed like the right place to go into next, and it still is the biggest asset class that I have in real estate. They had a lot of different types of properties available, and the return structure was great. The ability to choose between whether I wanted a higher cash flow or a lower cash flow but a bigger part of the upside, that was nice too, because I can imagine investors at different parts of their journey might have different demands and requirements at that time. And so for me, I was prioritizing growth over everything else. And so it was like, great, I can get into a type of deal that suits that. So yeah, I think overall it's been a really good fit for what I was trying to do with my portfolio in terms of the time frame of the investments, the return structure of the investments, and the fact that you guys went into the fund structure was really nice as well, because then you get access to basically the same number of properties that you would otherwise, except don't have to continually kind of sign new docs and send new money and kind of do that process over and over, as long as you trust that Ashcroft will be able to pick good properties and get the returns that they want to. You end up in a diversified spot by having a portfolio of many properties and with just one investment. So that was handy also, because you kind of get to do the investment once, and then the entire year you just get updates. You don't have to do anything else, and you're just kind of seeing everything work. So that's been pretty nice. I don't really know if I had objections. For me, it was more of a learning experience of just justifying investing in real estate at all versus something else, right? It was just, is this the right thing to do or not? And so in that sense, it was really helpful that the first call I remember I had with Evan, a few years ago, was actually my first call with any real estate capital firm at all. And so, as opposed to other people who might be more experienced, I was asking a lot of questions about the basics. And, he was really patient and really good at explaining, hey, here's what it means to invest in this. And here's how the returns are generated. Here's what we're doing with the money. And here's what the outlook is for, kind of building wealth over time through real estate. So it was bigger than just that particular deal. He wasn't, trying to sell me on the deal, trying to illustrate the concept of real estate investing as a whole. And so, the objection would have been, why should I do this over something else? What makes this a meaningful investment and a valuable one? And he was able to talk about that right up front. It was the first real estate capital firm that I invest with, based on recommendation from my advisor, who went to school with Frank and has invested in the past. And so, it was a great first spot for me to jump in, kind of a new world of investing, a new option, a new different, kind of class of investing I haven't done before. And yeah, it's been a great experience so far. There's many firms out there that can, come up with great deals and execute on them, and Ashcroft does that. But the way that they communicate, the way that they speak transparently about what's going on, the way that they address issues and concerns right away, open communication, all of that has been great, especially as like I said, it was the first one, so it kind of set the bar for me of what to expect from real estate investing, and yeah, it's been positive in that regard. I actually do recommend Ashcroft as probably the first or second option for people who are looking for alternatives besides just being in the stock market. Usually the first option, just because I know that you guys have the track record and the current performance to be able to be, the right place to go if someone's interested in real estate. So the question was, what are three specific reasons why I'd recommend?
Right.
We've kind of chatted about them, right? It's the overall professional approach, right? Everything is done the right way from the beginning of kind of, talking to an investor, a potential investor, and explaining what the deals are, kind of the thoroughness of the due diligence on the deal that's posted on the website and sent via email, kind of the packet that you get that explains everything, all the financial projections, and then the actual onboarding process, doing signing the docs and transferring the money and then setting up distributions, getting the updates. Everything is done in a very above board, professional, easy to understand way. So I think that's really important. If I'm referring someone to go somewhere, you don't want someone to go to a place where they're wondering if that firm is legit, or if they have the experience necessary to do what they say they're going to do. Are they over promising? Are they going to actually deliver the updates and the distributions like they say they will? And so, here it's been proven out. Like I can say, yep, personally, I can see it working. There's definitely that. I think the quality of the deals is very good as well in terms of, where the properties are, the value add plans, the projected returns are very competitive. You see some firms will project a little bit lower because they're trying to not overcommit. Some firms will project a little bit higher because they want to attract people. I feel like the Ashcroft projections are kind of right in that sweet spot of realistic but also good. So you feel like you're going to get a good return, and you can also get the sense that there's even more upside potentially that they aren't necessarily putting in on writing because they don't want to overpromise either. So yeah, the professionalism, the actual execution is really good, and the target properties are great. So yeah, just overall, I feel like it's it's an easy first recommendation for someone who doesn't know much about it, because they'll get a good experience. They'll set the right bar, coming to you guys, I think. Ashcroft was one of the first ones I invested with, and pretty much I think everything I've invested with has all of the deals I've done have started to cash flow for a while, actually. So it's nice to see that regularity of deposits right in your account every month, coming with the update email that says, here's how we're doing with these properties, here's the issues, here's the things that are going as planned or better than planned or worse than planned, and here's what we plan to do about it. But yeah, just the regularity of the cash flow has been great, because now you know your money's working for you in those investments, and then you have the anticipation of what happens towards the end of those cycles for those projects and the exits, and then being able to hopefully reinvest that money. But yeah, I would say the regularity of the updates and actually having achieved returns from them is really great. Considering that, again, you have to choose from a lot of options when you choose where to invest, and it's not an insignificant amount of money. So it's great to see that you guys are able to do what you said you were going to do, and kind of back that up with actual results. Absolutely, yes. It's only a question of how much. Just because I think that it's not enough to just invest once. You kind of want to keep building on the portfolio and kind of setting yourself up to have things developing, pretty much every year in the future. So if your first investments, pay off in 5 years, and the ones you made the year after that pay off in 5 years, all of a sudden you've almost got this revolving door of investments you made in the past coming to fruition every year, and then you can decide what to do with that return. Do you want to reinvest that or use it for something else? So I think it also diversifies you over time, right? To not just put all your eggs in one year's basket, because you never know which years are going to be better than others, and what the market conditions will be like when each of those properties or funds are planning to exit. Some might have to hold on longer if the market's not good. Some might be in a great spot. So yeah, I think I believe in the strategy, and I think it's a good value for the number of properties that each fund invests in. So for me, it's really more a question of just what's the right amount to put in. But I see it as something that, at least for the short to medium term, is something that's recurring for me. It's like, the more I invest now, the better off it's going to be in the future.